Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
The latest episode of Raw continued the build-up for WWE's upcoming premium live event. Clash in Paris is scheduled to take place on August 31st, with the match card of the event beginning to take shape. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce announced the World Heavyweight Championship match for the show on this week's episode of Raw. Pearce confirmed a fatal four-way match for the title between Seth Rollins, CM Punk Louisiana Knight, and Jey Uso. Veteran writer Vince Russo doesn't seem too happy about the announcement of this bout. All three challengers involved in the showdown have issues with Seth Rollins, and it seems like the contest would put an end to those problems. On Legion of Raw and Sportskeeda WrestleBinge, Vince Russo said that Triple H should turn both Pearce and Nick Aldis heels in WWE. He felt Pearce put Seth Rollins in a babyface spot despite the latter being a heel. Russo added that the major reason why the National Treasure and Scrap Iron should turn heel was to stack the odds against the fan favorites. It's so backwards because you're putting a heel in a babyface spot. You're putting a heel in there against three babyfaces. That's not how you book a heel. That's why you need heel authority figures. Heel authority figures are going to stack the deck against babyfaces. That's how you get babyfaces over. I wouldn't even say I would definitely say both Aldis and Pearce are pro-babyface commissioners without a shadow of a doubt, Russo said. From 33-23 onwards. Both Aldis and Pearce are wrestling veterans and former world champions. They are currently the general managers of SmackDown and Raw, respectively. Ever since its formation on the Raw after WrestleMania, the Vision has targeted several superstars on the WWE roster. LA Knight, Jey Uso, and CM Punk all have a score to settle with the group. They would relish this chance to take the title off Seth Rollins. With Roman Reigns also announced for the event, he might show up and interfere in the title bout as well. The WWE landscape has been shifting at an incredible pace over the past few months, with Triple H making bold creative calls that have reshaped the way both Raw and SmackDown feel. But according to a former WWE employee, the game may need to take one of his riskiest steps yet, turning two respected veteran superstars heel to target WWE authority figures Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis. And if this insider is correct, the reason is not just storyline driven, it's about cementing WWE's next era of power struggles, while also elevating two veterans who have been sitting in creative limbo for far too long. The insider's warning. The ex-WWE employee, who worked closely with talent and creative during the late 2010s, claims that Pearce and Aldis have become more than just neutral matchmakers on screen. They've turned into important narrative pillars. Fans may not realize it, but Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis are characters now, the former staffer told Wrestling News Roundtable. They're authority figures who represent two different philosophies. Pearce is the by-the-book bureaucrat who loves order. Aldis is the suave, old-school negotiator with a bit of ego. You don't waste these personalities by keeping them out of drama, you feed them to strong heel acts. The employee believes Triple H has gold in his hands if he pulls the trigger at the right moment. Why two veterans, and why now? The idea isn't to throw in two young heels who could fade in the background, but rather established names who carry weight with the fans. When you have guys who the WWE Universe already trusts, turning them heel can be explosive, the former insider explained. The veterans could be wrestlers who have been underutilized, still have name recognition, and could believably intimidate and outsmart the two GMs on screen. According to the source, if Triple H picks the right veterans, fans won't just boo them, they'll genuinely hate what they stand for, because they'll feel like these guys are betraying years of goodwill. The power struggle angle. In recent months, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have been used sparingly in each other's territories, but the few crossovers have hinted at professional tension. Aldis' British charm and corporate-like composure has been portrayed as slightly smug, while Pearce's patience with talent seems to be wearing thin. The ex-WWE staffer envisions a slow burn story. Pearce and Aldis start disagreeing on trades, match stipulations, and brand exclusivity. Suddenly, each man finds himself harassed or undermined by a different veteran wrestler. By the time the truth comes out, it's revealed that both heels have been working together, secretly orchestrating chaos on both shows. This is classic wrestling booking, the insider says. Two authority figures under siege at the same time, forced to work together against people they can control. It makes the GM sympathetic, it gives the heels a ton of screen time, and it raises the stakes for every segment. The creative payoff. The insider believes that by SummerSlam season 2025, WWE could pay off the angle with a massive tag match or even a Survivor Series-style elimination bout where Pearce and Aldis pick teams to defend their brands. But the key, he insists, is picking the right veterans. Someone the fans associate with loyalty, so the turn feels like a personal betrayal. Someone with legitimate in-ring credibility, to make every physical confrontation with Pearce and Aldis feel dangerous. Someone who can cut a venomous promo, because the story will require a lot of verbal sparring before the physicality escalates. Speculation on possible names. While the former employee didn't reveal exact names, WWE fans online have been buzzing about possible options. Some theories include Sheamus. The Celtic Warrior's body of work makes him a fan favorite, but he's proven countless times that he can play the brutal, no-nonsense heel to perfection. Aligning him with another veteran could create a dangerous duo. The Miz. Though often seen as a natural heel, Miz has been walking a more comedic, fan-friendly line recently. A vicious, cunning heel reboot alongside a powerhouse partner could be career-redefining. AJ Styles. With his OC stable's momentum fading, Styles could shock the WWE universe by targeting management in a ruthless bid for control. The pairing matters as much as the individuals. The Insider suggests combining different styles, for example, one being a technical or high-flying veteran, the other being a bruiser or a brawler. Why Triple H needs to pull the trigger. The former WWE employee warns that hesitation could cause WWE to miss a rare storytelling opportunity. This is the kind of feud that makes people tune in every week, he explained. Fans get tired of the same authority figure tropes. They don't want to see another fired GM storyline. They want something that feels like it could actually spiral out of control. If you have two veterans pushing buttons on both shows, you create unpredictability. In today's wrestling environment, unpredictability is gold. And other promotions are constantly looking for ways to surprise their audiences. WWE has an advantage in its established stars. If used well, a heel turn from beloved veterans can spark the kind of online buzz that no debut or return could match. Pearce and Aldis as on-screen victims. Fans have warmed up to both Pearce and Aldis, but their popularity stems from them being professional, not flashy. That's exactly why the Insider thinks this works. When a heel messes with someone who is trying to do their job, it gets heat fast. And in wrestling, heat equals money. Pearce could be physically threatened, Aldis could be humiliated in public promos, and both could have their booking decisions overturned by manipulative veterans using their backstage influence. The idea is to make the authority figures feel cornered, forcing them to step out of their comfort zones. Possible first steps. The Insider even suggested a way to kick things off. On Raw, Pearce announces a major tournament or title match. One of the veterans sabotages it, causing chaos. On SmackDown, Aldis introduces a new signing, only for the other veteran to interrupt and attack. Weeks later, backstage footage reveals the two veterans have been meeting in private, laughing about their experiment to break WWE's brand system. By then, the GMs have no choice but to retaliate, not with fines or suspensions, but by getting physically involved in the feud. A long-term storyline in an instant gratification era. The ex-WWE employee admits that in 2025's fast-paced wrestling environment, it's tempting to book quick angles and hotshot feuds. But he says this one needs patience. You don't give away the big match in month one. You let the heels win for a while. You make the GMs suffer. You let fans beg for payback. Then, when the tables finally turn, the reaction will be insane. If done right, the payoff could rival some of WWE's most memorable authority figure versus wrestler feuds from the past. Final word. Whether or not Triple H takes this advice, the fact remains, Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have enough charisma and screen presence to handle a long-term, high-stakes story. Pairing them against two freshly turned heel veterans could not only freshen up WWE programming, but also create must-see TV every single week. As the Insider bluntly put it, Triple H has the tools. He just needs to have the guts to use them.